Joe Biden is basically trying to say boys and girls have a pee together. Boys and girls take a dump together. Put the condoms in everybody's bathroom. Put the tampons in the boys' bathroom. Let's see how we can mix boy and girl. And I got to tell you, I don't understand the reasoning. I'll live a whole lifetime and I'll never understand the reasoning. I just won't. You will. I won't. I get transgender. I get all of it, but I'll never understand the reasoning. Well, a small university in Steubenville, Ohio, which, by the way, those of you questioning Steubenville, Ohio, Dean Martin is from there. My friend Rich Donnelly, third base coach with Jim Leland of the Pirates and the World Championship Marlins. Also, if you ever saw the show, The Chicken Runs at Midnight, it's fantastic. That's Rich's story. Jimmy the Greek is from there. Stud reliever Raleigh Fingers. I can go on and on and on. Steubenville's got some suck, yo. Well, Franciscan University in Steuben, Vegas, as we'll call it, they're saying no. We ain't doing it. Up yours. FJB. They're going to continue to separate its housing, its restroom, its locker room, its sports team on the basis of the biological sex. That's right. You see it right here. Pavanka, TOR, the president of Franciscan, sent a letter to students that stated that the new interpretation of Title IX does not apply to the university because it's inconsistent with the Catholic Church's teaching on sex. The university president referenced Franciscan's compendament, on human sexuality, which states that a person's sexual identity is based on his or her biology. Ocha capesta, my eyes are burning. You ever think we'd have to have this conversation? Did you ever think we would have to dig deep into the bowels of our soul to say, hey, dude, with your package fully, packaged up, stay the hell out of the women's restroom. Hey, dude, with, your packy fully packed up. You're not participating against the women. Did you ever think we would have to do that? Now, you know my answer to this. I am inclusive. Double D is all about that inclusivity. Yo. So go play with the boys. Go have yourself a day. Go have yourself an afternoon. Go have yourself whip towels. Play with the boys. Pretty simple. We believe in the inherent dignity of every person. Pivanka says, I do too. As a passionately Catholic institution, we believe in and follow the teachings of the Catholic Church that consider sex to refer to the objective reality of a human person is a man male or is a woman female, grounded in and determined by a person's biology. Really? I mean, is there anything that shouldn't have to be explained to the world? I get it. It's a progressive world. I get it. There are those out there that say trans women are women and all that kind of stuff. That's great. Good for you. Yay, rock. Go fight, win. Live your life. Live your best life. Find love. Love is love. You know what I'm saying? All the things that people say. I get it. Go. Do it. It's awesome. Yay, rock. Go fight, win. But the fact of the matter is, this shouldn't upset anybody. Because, as I've said many times, we have 348 to 350 million people on this continent. Well, in these United States of America. And the fact of the matter is, why aren't we all allowed to have differing opinions? I get it, there are laws that apparently aren't being followed by very many people, particularly those on the crazy-ass extreme left. We understand that. But there are laws. There are guardrails. We get that. But a Catholic institution should have no problem enforcing this, particularly when everything they are doing is based on the Bible or based on Catholicism. It shouldn't even be an issue. It shouldn't be protested. It shouldn't even have to be stated. But it does have to be stated. Why? Well, because, people get crazy. Way back in the day when North Carolina was going through the same-sex bathroom law and the NBA All-Star Game, stood up, pounded their chest, and Adam Silver acted like he was Grand Poobah of the woke mentality. How's that working for him now? Not great. But anyway, you know what happened? I'll tell you what happened. I got a call from Colin Cowherd's show. I was working at ESPN. And they're like, hey, Indiana has the same-sex law. So they called me up, had me on the air. And they're like, well, how can this be? I said, well, I don't understand. If it's a real problem, just make one bathroom fit all. Open the door, urinal on the right, Crapper straight ahead. Keep it clean. Both sexes. What's the problem? Lock the door. Well, what about the big ones? What about the big ones? You mean the big ones where it says men's room and ladies' room? Well, if you got a problem with that, I'll tell you this, and I said this on the air, they ain't tearing down these stadiums and putting in new potties, or they ain't renovated at a cost of millions and millions and millions of dollars to put in new potties and take out the old men's room and the old women's room just so you all can act like you really care. I mean, it's a simple deal. You're a dude, go crap in the dude. You're a woman, go crap in the woman. You don't know what the hell you are, go into unisex. I mean, what the hell? Pretty easy. The world is simple in the Double D brain. It just is. Catholic University says we are not allowing men to dress with women in our locker rooms, in our bathrooms, in our dressing rooms, whether it's in the media, whether it is in plays, dressing room, sports, locker room, crapper, student union. We ain't having it. And it should be celebrated. There should not be any hate. And if there is hate, that's on the people that hate. Because we must celebrate at some point. I understand we're all supposed to celebrate the LGBTQ, ABCD community, and good for them. Celebrate your ass off. I don't care. But we also have to celebrate the 99.999999999% of us that say, look, I'm a dude, you're a chick. You do your thing, I do my thing. We do it separate when it comes to exposing our genitals to one another, particularly where there's kids involved, Planet Fitness and other places. It ain't that hard. So, in closing, good for Franciscan. Yay, Rob Franciscan. I knew the town that gave us Dean Martin, the town that gave us Rich Stonley, the town that gave us Jimmy the Greek Snyder. May I go on more? Raleigh Fingers, porn star, Tracy Lords. That's right, and she was a good one. She was old school. And wide receiver Danny Abramowitz. I remember him with the New Orleans Saints because I had his football card. I knew the city. Will Robinson, the first African-American coach in the NBA. I knew the city that gave us those great people wouldn't let us down by bowing to a woke agenda and all the crap about everybody's got to piss together, everybody's got to shower together, everybody's got to dress together. Good for you, Steubenville, Ohio. I hope the school is in Steubenville, Ohio. I think it is when I looked it up. Anyway, I'm going to stay with Steubenville. You go. Very nice. Here's the deal. We have here in Indianapolis the biggest panderer in the NFL. See, here's what we say our general manager, Chris Ballard, is. A survivor. Now, you got to understand in sports, there are winners at the general manager position. There are losers, and there are survivors. See, winners get themselves contracts. Winners get extensions. Losers, well, we all know what happens to them. Losers get fired. But then there is the survivor. The survivor is the guy that just does enough. He ingrains himself into the culture. He ingrains himself into the owner. Like our guy, Chris Ballard, he cried about white men. He did. He cried. He said white men bad. Oh, white people, you have got to get you got to get it figured out. Then he talked about ARs or AKs or whatever the hell it was, guns. And he was talking about the wrong gun. The wrong gun. He didn't even talk about the right gun. AR, AKs. He gave a speech. He is the guy that here's what he did. This is pretty brilliant. So when he was in trouble, he would, we're going to have all the media out to the complex. We're going to serve them nachos and pizza, and you're going to get to watch film of Quiddy Pay with me and nachos. He's the nacho guy. He did it, and it worked. It worked to the point where ESPN Stephen Holder and the Indy Star, The Athletic, I forget which one he was working at the time, Mike frickin' Wells, were sharing gifts with him while they were supposed to be reporters. Wells is now, he's teaching media at Indiana University, which is really funny because there was no one lazier, no one worse than Mike Wells. Now he's teaching. But anyway, it worked here in Indianapolis. You can't swing a dead cat without a media guy not named Dan Dakich ripping on Chris Ballard. They love him. Chris Ballard's record is under 500. Chris Ballard has never won the worst division in football, the AFC West. This is his 8th year. There are winners, there are losers, and there are survivors. His first coach, Josh McDaniels, said yes and then nah. Andrew Luck quit on his watch because he knew Ballard was full of shit. He did. Mike Greenberg on ESPN talked about the dissatisfaction with Oliver Luck and the Luck family. Greeny went too strong. He called me. I put him on my show in Indianapolis where he kind of apologized. Everyone except the national media knows Chris Ballard is a horse bleep, full of shit survivor. Some guy on NFL.com a couple years ago made him the number one GM in the NFL. Number one GM. Number one. Numero uno. I mean, think about that. The guy's record is under 500. He is on his 7th starting quarterback. He's afraid of the media, but he's the guy to speak up. Now, he's starting to look a little like Caitlyn Jenner, and I'm worried about him. He's gotten fat. He claims to have been a wide receiver at Wisconsin. Never gotten a game, but he claims to be a wide receiver. Anyway, Chris Ballard isn't having it anymore. When he finds an opportunity to pander, Chris Ballard will pander. Here's what he had to say that's all the rage across the national NFL media. Here's what Ballard said.
I don't know. I mean, I read some of the bullshit that was said on TV. I mean, just the typical fucking, excuse my language, our typical league, unnamed sources, bad interview. That's such bullshit. I mean, it fucking is. It's bullshit. Put your name on it. I'm tired of, we tear these young men down. These are 21, 22 young men. And if people out there can tell me they're perfect in their lives, it's crap. It's crap. This is a good kid. And, for those reports to come out, I said it last year. It's bullshit. I'm sorry. I apologize for the language. I don't, but I do.
Well, what's bullshit is my man here. My man is so full of crap. He's such a liar. Eric Ebron played for the Colts. Eric Ebron's pretty good in the red zone, got hurt, and Eric Ebron's a weird dude, right? He quit in the middle of it. Eric Ebron said this: Chris Ballard's the same dude that trashed my name through the league. When I needed ankle surgery before the season, we lost a game to the Texans. I went on IR. He said I quit after playing knowing I needed surgery. This is Cap, and I think he's the worst GM ever. I've told you forever here in Indianapolis. The guy is completely full of shit. I mean, I used to like him. I did. And then about year 3, I'm like, hold on here. Hang on. Hold the phone. This guy's getting full of shit. He talks creepy. He's looking creepy. He's just being creepy. I mean, here's the deal. When you are a survivor, you sniff around for opportunities. When you've been so bad at your job that you inherit a team that hadn't had a losing record in 5 years, and you haven't had a winning record in 7 years. And the only way people even get him around 500 is to discard some year when he first got here, which I don't understand, or the year Andrew Luck quit. Well, it's amazing. And the national media is all in on it. Well, Eric Ebron isn't. Chris Ballard, the same dude that trashed my name throughout the league when I needed ankle surgery before the season. We lost a game to the Texans. I went on IR. He said I quit after playing knowing I needed surgery. I think he's saying this is crap, and I think he's the worst GM ever. I've tried to tell you. I'm trying to tell the people in Indianapolis, I told you about Doyle. I told you for years that our creeping ass columnist for the Indy Star, who, by the way, is creeping now on the assistant coach of the Indiana Pacers. He's creeping on her now. Watch out, Jenny Bukar. Watch out. Doyle is sniffing around. But anyway, I've told you for years, and I'm never wrong about this. I'm never wrong. I've told for years that Chris Ballard is full of shit. The beauty of this is watching all the national media clowns jump up and down, stand on their head, and shit snowballs over what a great guy Ballard is for saying that. Ah, geez. Look, I get it. Survivor gonna survive. And that's the Chris Ballard story. Hey, look, good for him, man. Good for Chris Ballard. Hey, you can't argue with it. Good for him. I mean, he has faked out Jimmy Irsay. He has fooled everybody in the Indianapolis media, most of the fans here in Indianapolis, and he hasn't won shit. He's won one playoff game in 7 years, only played in 2. Honest to God. Might be the worst GM in the NFL at this particular time, but every NFL dude loves him. The Indy media loves him because of the nachos. You give media free nachos, those crumb-stained clouds will fall down, jump over, dive for the last crumb. Eberflus, the coach of the Bears, worked for Ballard. Eberflus tried that same thing in Chicago. Hey, guys, we're going to have pizza and nachos at the facility, and I'll watch film with you. Any media goes, you what? Yeah, say why? Why? No, we ain't doing that. What's wrong with you? Indy, Stephen Holder, who works for ESPN, clown. Doily, creeper. The rest of the insiders, they got him on the cheap. And the national media loves him some Chris Ballard. Everybody should love Sir Charles. I mean, what's not to love with Sir Charles? Sir Charles gets on the air, and when he knows he's being full of crap, he gives you that laugh, which means it ain't that serious. Well, Sir Charles, he's fed up with the Pelicans. Yeah, he's had enough. Sir Charles has said, you know what? I've had enough. Well, listen to Sir Charles talking about how the Pelicans need to go to Galveston, Texas, not Cancun. Go ahead.
Disappointed in New Orleans. Where they going, Chuck?
Galveston. That dirty ass water. We're not even gonna send them to Cancun. We're gonna send them to Galveston where that dirty ass water be washed up on the shore. You people think they're in the beach. Y'all located. We y'all gonna send y'all to Cancun. Y'all drive y'all quit. Drive your ass down to Galveston. Come on, man.
So they're not taking a little.
Come on, they didn't even try, man. No, we're not getting them no plane ticket to the beach. We send their ass to Galveston, Texas, right where that dirty water washed up on the beach. They can't even get in the water. Come on, man.
Oklahoma City, 106-85 in Game 3.
You got to admit, I mean, I did not watch any of the NCAA tournaments pregame or halftime if it didn't involve Charles Barkley. I don't watch the ESPN's is so bad. It's so ridiculous with these little girls trying to be cool, trying to be funny, Big Perk trying to be racist and trying to be Charles. But the deal is simple. Charles Barkley is the best. And he's right. Like, hey, the Pelicans sucked and deserve to go wherever the hell they deserve to go. But it ain't Cancun. It's Galveston. I've never been there. I did hear the water's pretty nice. I don't know why everybody's mad at Galveston. Isn't it on the beach? Isn't that a spring break hot spot? And Charles went in on the big ladies from San Antonio, too, in that little ramp. Anyway, good for Sir Charles. More Sir Charles, please. Please, waiter, more Sir Charles. The White House Correspondents' Dinner is really kind of funny sometimes. Because what the White House Correspondents' Dinner is all the media that covers the White House and the White House people and Biden and everybody else goes to the dinner. It's a big deal. And then you get a comedian up there, and he embarrasses everybody. And it's fun. It really is. Biden, I guess he showed. I don't know. Everybody is talking about the interview that he did with Howard Stern and how he was called a decent guy. Biden's anything but a decent guy. But there was some funny stuff. There was some really funny stuff. I like Colin Yost. I don't know Colin Yost. I don't watch his show. I watch kind of snippets of his show off of the internet, like YouTube, or maybe I don't know, I guess it's Instagram. I don't know. And I think when he and Michael Che do the weekend update, I think it's really good. I think it's really funny, particularly when they write each other racist jokes that neither has read. I get a kick out of it. I think it's funny. But anyway, Colin Yost was up there. Here's what he had to say about Joe Biden's black support.
Like many of you here tonight, I pretend to do news on TV. My weekend update co-anchor, Michael Che, was going to join me here tonight, but in solidarity with President Biden, I decided to lose all my black support.
Pretty good. I mean, he ain't wrong. He ain't wrong, and it's pretty funny when comedians get up there and they just make fun of stuff, particularly with the guy sitting in a room. Now, here's Biden trying. Oh, it's so sad. Here's Biden trying. He's trying. Let's give him a swing here.
I had a great stretch since the State of the Union, but Donald has had a few tough days lately. You might call it stormy weather. What the hell?
All right. There you go. You know, I've always said this. People that aren't inherently funny shouldn't try to be funny. Guys like me that remind you of Shecky Green, we should try to be funny all the time. Look up Shecky Green, Nick and Nick. That's right. Anyway, Joe Biden getting up there. Why does Joe Biden constantly just talk about Donald Trump? It's like the dude that broke up with his girlfriend, and he keeps talking about the old girlfriend. You know, it's like, I don't know. We get it. You're mad at Donald Trump. You're trying to be funny. I thought he, and these are his words, the decency was supposed to be brought back to the White House. Look, I'm full disclosure. Joe Biden could say anything, and I ain't going with it. You know, there are some people that I personally have just lost respect for. Doesn't mean anybody else should, but it's my opinion. Literally, when I look at Joe Biden, I'm like, how did we ever do this? An old, and I ain't even mad at the old, just a dementia-ridden crazy man that has no regard, no knowledge, no nothing of what he's currently doing. And then he's incredibly arrogant about it. And then he's such a liar. I think he added a few more nationalities. I do. I think he added a few more nationalities to his list of where he was raised. Here's Colin Yost with another one.
It's also wonderful to be back in Washington. I love being in Washington. The last time I was in D.C., I left my cocaine at the White House. Luckily, the president was able to put it to good use for his State of the Union. I'm kidding, of course. The president doesn't call it cocaine. He calls it high-speed rail.
Pretty good. By the way, whatever happened with that cocaine at the White House? Whatever happened with Hunter Biden's laptop? Whatever happened with the fires in Maui? Whatever happened to P. Diddy going to get arrested? Whatever happened to all these things? We all here at the show, we got to switch. We got to bump on over to the Democratic, the liberal side. You can get away with anything. You can get away with anything, and you ain't got no problem. That's right. I said it. I meant it. You ain't got no problem. Whatever happened to those things? Whatever happened to Hillary Clinton and Russian disinformation? I don't know. I'm being serious here. Whatever happened, the wildfires, that all just went away. P. Diddy, that all just went away. Is P. Diddy arrested? Is P. Diddy dead? I saw where his drug mule, former kid that was a walk-on at Syracuse playing basketball, is going to jail. Or at least he's being charged, and he's going to have to go to trial. Probably going to jail is a little bit much. Hell, Harvey Weinstein even got himself a rape charge overturned. It's good to be a Democrat these days. It's good to be a liberal. Yesterday, I found out through somebody that's actually there that Giselle Maxwell lives on her own floor. Her own floor. In prison. It's kind of the Martha Stewart. What? But anyway, that's the way the world turns. You're a Democrat, You get away with anything you want to get away with. How can you be mad about it? There's got to be a part of you that admires it. Hey, look, I took a baseball bat to my server. That's right, Hillary. I don't know what you're talking about. I got Facebook, Twitter, TikTok capping for me. That's right, I said capping for me because I'm down. Come on. Let's get serious around these parts. It's time to have equal justice for all. Paid, Bill Clinton did, $850,000 to Paula Jones to keep her quiet in an affair. I don't see his ass on trial anywhere. Man, I think I'm going to start talking about this every day, every show, because it's starting to piss me off. It's not pissing me off that these guys are getting away with it. Hell, every time I got a traffic ticket in Northwest Indiana, I had my Uncle Roy fix it. So I get fixing it. I just want to be on the side of all the fixing. I just want to be on the side of, hey, look, we got you. Really? Yeah. You don't have to pay income tax. You're good. That's the side I want to be on. I don't want to be on the side that every time you swing a dead cat, you're going to jail. Or every time you do something, you're being protested. Actually, that's crap. I love being on the side of right. I do not ever want to be on the side of corrupt and wrong and lying and Joe Biden and all the others, including the insider trading. I don't want to be on that side because I got Catholic guilt. Because I would wake up in the middle of the night and go, and feel guilty. I'm playing golf yesterday. I'm putting my brains out. My partner stinks. All of a sudden, he hits a good shot, and he's all excited. So he gets a birdie. I'm putting. He starts trying to read my putts. I go, hey. He goes, you need some help? I go, not from you. I've seen you play. Everybody laughed. I woke up at 3 a.m, felt bad about that. Catholic guilt. I couldn't be a criminal. I don't know how these guys do it. I don't know how you wake up in the morning as Joe Biden knowing that you have screwed over and probably been responsible for millions of lives. I don't get it. I don't get it. Tiger Woods faced this. Apparently, Tiger Woods was in a situation where there were pictures. There were naughty pictures of Tiger Woods. And this is the stuff I don't understand about Tiger Woods. I don't understand this about Tiger Woods. Tiger Woods, there are pictures of Tiger Woods in a car with his mistress. Now, here's my thinking. My thinking is, wait a second here. Tiger Woods in a car, is he having sex? Did they get pictures of him? Like, Tiger, you got money. Get a damn suite. Get a suite at the Trump. I mean, what are you doing? So there's a guy named David Pecker, which is a great name. I mean, a great name. You know the guy's been called Peckerhead his whole life. It's like Dakich. You think I haven't been called Jockich or Dakich my whole life? What are you talking about? I got people even to this day, people are saying, hey, Dakich, Jockich, stop it. Anyway, this guy, David Pecker, is in a witness in the trial, New York versus Trump. And he, at the time, was CEO, I want to get this right, American Media, Inc., which operated Men's Fitness, which operated the National Enquirer. Now, those of you that don't know what the National Enquirer is, it was a gossip magazine that two very famous people, Nick Nolte, actor, David Friedkin, director, producer of movies like, well, White Men Can't Jump, Blue Chips, Dog Day Afternoon, The Exorcist. Now, those are real movies. They both told me this. What you read in the National Enquirer is true about the people. Now, we can't tell you that the National Enquirer saw Sasquatch or a three-legged sheep humping Marilyn Monroe's grave. But we can tell you that 95% of what you read in the National Enquirer about the individuals is true. So the National Enquirer in that world had some suck. National Enquirer had some things. So anyway, here is what David Pecker had to say. He took the stand during the Trump hush money trial, admitted that he helped cover up a story on Tiger Woods in 2007. Apparently, Woods had been caught in an affair with his then mistress, Mindy Lawton. Photos being taken of the two in Woods' Cadillac Escalade. Pecker admitted under cross-examination that he bought the pictures, approached Wood about making a deal to avoid publishing them. That deal was this. That deal was to appear in Men's Fitness magazine. He bought the pictures of the two in a parking lot of a church, Pecker did, and he used them to blackmail Woods. Woods was on the cover of a magazine, 12-page story about his diet, his workout, and wait for it, his marriage. That's right. So Woods is doing a piece in Men's Fitness magazine because a guy who owns the magazine, the CEO of the company that owns the magazine, has incriminating pictures of Woods and his mistress. All right? And the article is about his marriage. And I guarantee you, it's not about how bad the marriage is. I guarantee you that Tiger Woods probably talked in this story about, well, what a doting husband, how great it is to be married, how great it is to have kids. But the deal didn't really work for Woods, of course. The deal, well, because Woods was stooping everything with two legs in a JJ, his affair, and I'm going to get this, Rachel Uchinol, became very public in 2009. And, of course, according to legend, his wife, Elle Nordgren, swinging a golf club at him, costing Woods, wait for it, $100 million. All right. Well, we all, this is the greatest thing about sports. We all act like Tiger Woods is some kind of hero. We do the same with Kobe Bryant. It's glorious. Kobe Bryant is, of all things, a girl dad. Really? He is? I'm sure he was great to his daughters, but he's really a girl dad? Ask the lady from Colorado that all evidence points to an attack. That's what the evidence points to. Now, he paid her off. Ask her dad. Do you think Kobe Bryant's a girl dad? Do you think Kobe Bryant is really worthy of all this Mamba mentality and all that kind of stuff? Of course not. Do you think Tiger Woods is really the godfather, the grown-up granddaddy of golf, this guy who we're all supposed to admire? Oh, please. He's no different than any of us. None of these clowns are. Maybe Jack Nicklaus. He stayed with one woman forever. Seems like he has always been with that woman. I forget. I think her name was Nancy. Good for Jack Nick. Barb. Barb is her name. And how the hell do I know a golfer's wife's name? I don't know, except that Jack Nicklaus has always made it a priority, his family. Jack Nicklaus is the guy that really should be celebrated. Tiger Woods should be thrown out with the rest of the trash. I mean, damn. You know, there's a saying, and I've talked about this before. There's a saying that Dick Vermeil gave to us at Indiana University. Don't complicate winning. Well, you can use that saying in your life. I mean, think about it. Tiger Woods, sweet as you please, going along. He is Gandhi. He is Buddha. He's exactly what his dad, Earl, said. Bigger than golf, international superstar, African-American, minority kids opened up to playing golf. Golf is cool. Across the world, not just across the country. He's got everything, but guess what? Just like all of us, the little fella down there gets him in trouble. The little fella connected to the big fella, the brain up here, are not always in sync. And next thing you know, one leads to the other. I've never had an affair on my wife. I haven't. But I've been told by guys that have had multiple affairs. First one's a little hard, just like anything else. Second one, it gets easier. Third one, it gets a little addicting. And by the fourth one, you're usually caught. Next thing you know, you're giving up a ton of money in court. Your kids hate you. Your wife hates you. She takes a golf club to the rear window. You get pulled over with Ambien and a bunch of other crap in your system. It's a tragic tale of American history, American lore, and America's future, because it ain't stopping. But anybody that wants to tell me Tiger Woods is some hero, I got 2 words for you. My ass. Just another creep. That's all. It's pretty much like the rest of us. I mean, I don't know what to tell you. I mean, but we vilify him. All right. We don't vilify him. We glorify him. Wrong. Anyway, the NBA. Oh, my boy, the Flying Knicks, who live in New York City, producers extraordinaire. Are they excited about what? The Knicks. 3-1. And here's the deal. Man, Derek Brunson, 47. Remember a couple games ago, Derek Brunson couldn't get it done, too little, too whatever. Really? I don't know. Looks like Derek Brunson is the star and the big old goof, and he gets goofier every single minute. Joel Embiid is talking. New York fans took over Philadelphia. They took it over. MVP chant. Let's go Knicks chant. That kind of thing. You know what I'm saying? What I say? Derek Brunson. It's always Jalen. Derek's a friend of mine. Anyway, Jalen Brunson. Jalen Brunson, 47 points, the Knicks record in the playoffs. Joel Embiid, he's reduced to being, quote, pissed off because so many Knicks fans took over Philly. Well, I don't know what to tell you. The beloved Pacers are up 3-1. And I'm not putting an asterisk on this. You can smooch the backside. I don't care. Look, a year from now, no one's going to ask, did the Greek Freak play? No. Did Damian Lillard play? No. And somehow, some way, they threw out Bobby Portis for a minor altercation. Stupid. Maybe the fix is in. Maybe the young playoff Pacers are interesting enough to the national media that if, in fact, the Pacers and if the Knicks continue and they win and they play each other, we're going to have Reggie Miller. We're going to have Spike Lee. We're going to have all kind of good stuff popping. That's right, popping in NYC and IND. Maybe the fix is in, but I know this. Miles Turner, for the first time in his life, showed the big ones. Yeah, that's right. The big ones. I mean the stonage. And actually played. I'll bet you this, though. I'll bet you can bet the under on Miles Turner in the next game, and he will deliver. I don't know. I'm not going to say it. But Anthony Edwards, wow. Do you even know who Anthony Edwards is? Plays for the Timberwolves. I got 2 words for him. Wow. He jumps up this high on his jumper. He looks like Michael Jordan. He plays like Michael Jordan. I can do with all that, without all that. Keep it classy, Anthony, and you'll get big-time endorsements. Don't go down to a stupid level. But my God, is he good. And I've had enough of Kevin Durant. I've really had enough of Bradley Beal. Bradley Beal hadn't won squat, and he slaps the hand of his coach out of the way. And Devin Booker did all that talking. That's right, all that talking. Really? That's what you're going to do, Devin Booker? Well, you got your ass beat. Frank Vogel's in trouble. I don't think they got a shot to get good next year. I saw this out of Kevin Durant talking to a Minnesota player, which I assume means he's trying to get on the Timberwolves. Nuggets, you better close it out. Don't let it go too far. LeBron James was dynamite down 3-zip. He was. He was dynamite. He acted like a petulant child. He's 39 years old. You go. LeBron James, you act however the hell you want to act. What do I care? You do you. You're 39. You're on borrowed time. You're playing great. But if I was the Nuggets, I'd close that bad boy out as quickly as I can. And it ain't that easy.